is Another Gay Horror Pod with Stuart Ross and Jesse Tevitt.
You are quite the slacker, Jesse.
I love Slack.
I also love Slack.
I waited right until we started recording to call you a slacker.
Yes.
So just
thanks.
I needed that to be on the record.
I appreciate that. I hope Slack, a potential sponsor, is listening.
Slack, if you're listening, please send me $100 and we'll talk about it every week.
Yes. Slack
we are
and Jamie
very
Lee Curtis.
easily bought. Very easily bought.
Yes, that's correct.
This week, we are joined again by RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18 star Ciara Myst. Thanks so much for sticking with us.
Oh, thank you for having me back.
We're so excited to continue our horror journey with you.
Yes.
Yeah, you and I had originally talked about you coming on in June, but then you posted one of your unseen looks, and you said it was influenced by the movie we're discussing this week, which was already on our schedule. Crimson Peak 2015, and I was like, okay, I gotta get you on.
Yes, yeah, Pride is all year round, so we don't need to just be gay in June. We can, we can be gay all the time.
Wait,
yeah.
What? Oh, what? Best news.
Thank God.
I know.
But yeah, I was trying to describe the inspirations for that look to one of the judges of Drag Race, Michelle Visage, and I was like, she loves Haunted Mansion, so she was like associating it with that, and I said it's kind of like yes, but my vantage point was it's Crimson Peak meets the librarian from Ghostbusters, and she was like, okay, that's random, and I was like, trust me,
she's like, sure.
It's not. Yeah, it worked. It worked.
If you're inside Ciara Myst's brain, it's not random.
Yeah, I was like, it's the 80s kind of kooky campy, which is very very me as a human, but then like the visual effects and the monochrome of of the designs from Crimson Peak, and Doug Jones is also from Indiana,
yes.
And so I was like, you know what? Let's just channel a little bit of that. So we have.
I think I've always just assumed he was British.
Okay, no,
Doug Jones is a British.
He's from Corntown. He's from Corntown.
Yeah. Clock it.
Not literally, right?
I don't know that there's physically a Corntown in Indiana, but spiritually he's from Corntown. Right? Yeah. Corn City.
Yeah, he's iconic, and he's a frequent Del Toro collaborator.
Yes,
he's also in Crimson Peak.
Absolutely, yeah. That was the Jesse. You're so smart.
Yeah,
not just pretty face.
Okay, sorry. Did I? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Did I? Whoops. You know what?
It's fine.
There's a reason I'm a substitute teacher.
Yes. He's
exactly.
not here to teach the full film history class.
I'm here to I'm actually here for like ASMR purposes. Stuart loves when I make noises and do like.
I hate your noise because I have to listen to them now, and then I have to listen to it when I edit.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And then I wake up in the middle of the night and I have Jesse's noises stuck in my brain.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's the real horror.
Yeah.
The true horror of Another Gay Horror Pod is just Jesse's noises.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so what was your relationship with Crimson Peak previously?
Yeah, I think that in the world of horror, ghost stories are so interesting just because I think sometimes people dismiss those types of narratives because they're not actively scary, and we talked about that a little bit on our like last week's little touch point. But they're often like stories about despair or like there are other types of emotions, and I think that's what's cool about the world of horror is it can explore oftentimes different types of complicated or negative emotions, but ghost stories are often rooted in like sadness or loss or memory or despair. And Del Toro does such like a brilliant job just of like creating worlds and attaching everything in the world to that like storytelling. And so I remember just being very visually encaptured by the world of Crimson Peak, whether that was, like I said, sort of the design of the ghosts to like the scenic design. It just really was such a visceral, effective, creative look to it. And so as a visual artist, it was natural for me to sort of borrow from a master like that and pull it into my own art in some way.
I think he's one of our best living film craftsmen.
Yes.
Like, I mean, everything he's done, I mean, I'm sure you've seen Frankenstein. Remarkable.
Love.
There's a reason it won multiple Oscars. Like, stunning.
Sorry,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say part of what I think his success is oftentimes is he is so involved in every department creatively. And I don't know that we see that all the time. Like he's able to communicate with his team and work with the right people to say like, no, but it needs to be this because it attaches to this thing here. And so there is a sense of homogeny through everything where everything is furthering the story through texture, through color, through shape. And like, that's how it should be. And that's, it just hits. It hits.
He had his, I guess for lack of a better expression, cabinet of curiosities on display at LACMA a few years ago.
It was so cool.
It was wild. I mean, the idea that someone can collect that many like bizarre tchotchkes is like mind blowing.
Well, I think the impressive thing about a director with such a strong POV that continues through all of his movies is it means that he's a good communicator.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because like a lot of directors have really good perspectives, but have trouble communicating with all the different departments, have trouble communicating with not just hair, makeup, and costumes, but also lighting, also the grips, also all like everyone. And it really, all of his movies have such this powerful POV. This is my first time seeing this since I saw Frankenstein. And I was like, I do feel like these movies are in conversation with each other, which I wasn't expecting. But it is like,
absolutely,
like there's two haunted houses in Frankenstein. There's the one at the beginning, and then the one that he builds. And this is sort of like we're escaping sort of the brighter America for this haunted Britain. It's really, I remember not loving this movie the first time I saw it when it came out, and I think it was just because I wanted something different. But every time I've seen this movie since, I've really just like connected with it more, whether it be like it maybe just aging and feeling more pain probably allows you to connect with stuff more, because this is a movie about grieving, this is a movie about loss, especially from Edith's perspective, and it really it's a good movie. I had fun watching it yesterday.
It's a kinky movie, which I really appreciate. Very kinky. Yeah, I mean, we've got incest play. We've got Tom Hiddleston
not incest play, just literally incest.
Sorry, yes, you're right. Literal incest. We've got Tom Hiddleston, who's like kind of donned this like, what am I trying to say? Like emo sort of like energy.
He does feel a little My Chemical Romance.
Yes, he's so hot. I think he's like one of my...
And you get butt. You get Tom Hiddleston butt.
And you get butt. And I forgot that before watching this. I was like, fuck yeah.
You were sitting there and you're like, why am I going to watch Crimson Peak? And then you saw butt and you're like, that's why I'm watching Crimson Peak.
Del Toro knows how to expose the male body. I'm thinking Pacific Rim, we get Charlie Hunnam looking great. Frankenstein, we get Oscar Isaac. Hot as hell.
So hot.
I think he's fully naked at one point in Frankenstein, actually.
He is.
Obviously, Jacob Elordi.
I gotta say that watching this movie back, and this is gonna sound strange, I guess, but like I was so impressed by how Guillermo del Toro, and similar with Shape of Water, I'm gonna say this. Maybe I need to go back and revisit some of his other works too. It feels like he is able to understand how to write from a very feminine perspective. Like he is very in touch with sort of the like lunar energy of how oftentimes female romantic art like authors would write. And that's where this movie, like with Edith being an author herself or a writer, it's like it feels like Mary Shelley's work. It feels like Jane Eyre, like all of these things. It feels like it was told by them as opposed to a male art, like writer or director telling a story about the female experience. And I think
absolutely nail on the head. And
it's rare to feel that.
Well, and we're talking about this movie in relation to Alfred Hitchcock's adaptation of Rebecca. And I think in a lot of ways, Alfred Hitchcock doesn't have the same what's his name?
Rebecca?
Her name?
This is Lestat, and his brother Louis is somewhere else, I believe. But Lestat loves drag, and I'm actually shocked that this is his first time popping up here. But yes,
we love a cat ally.
The cats make a cameo every now and then. So
we love a vampire cat.
Yes, yeah. So if you see a tail wandering around, that's it's Lestat just checking things out.
It's not a ghost; it's just a cat.
No, we have had ghost cats before. Yeah, but yeah, Oh, okay. This is a fun question. Sorry, I'm diving into this. The movie starts off with a very like a statement. It's like ghosts are real. So like quick survey. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Jesse's torn.
I believe in. I don't know.
I don't necessarily.
Here's what I'll say. Stuart, shut up. Here's what I'll say. I don't believe in ghosts until I do. Unless someone's like, Jesse, don't sleep in that room. It's haunted. I'm like, okay, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep there.
You don't believe in ghosts, but you're not going to risk it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm not ruling out the possibility that there are ghosts.
Cautiously supernatural. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about sense. You, Ciara? Are you communing?
I don't commune necessarily actively, but I do believe in ghosts, and I've had a fair amount of sort of like supernatural type of experiences with that. 90% of them all very positive. 10% was like a very strange negative experience when we moved into a new house and we found out somebody had passed in the house. And so anyways, weird stuff happened there. Yeah.
What? I want you to tell us about one of the experiences. Because I do like, I'm like, but like, I do appreciate hearing the stories, and I want you to feel validated. And then once again, this is a safe space.
Oh my gosh, Jesse, you do not need to validate my ghost beliefs. It is okay.
Can you imagine if I was like, Ciara, ghosts aren't real, and you need to come to terms with that?
You're dressed like a ghost, and you're fake. I just thought I like how the movie like starts with like, this is the world that we live in. So I thought it was a fun question. But so like a fairly like benign experience was like my family was on a trip to New York, and my mom's family like that's their history there, and so none of us had grown up in New York, and we went to like the part of the cemetery where like some of our older relatives were, and my cousin at the time was like, I want to say 3, like was starting to speak, but not in like full, like comprehensive sentences. And I mean, I don't know. I haven't had children for, so I don't know what age comprehensive. Anyways, she's 3 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so she just sort of like wanders ahead through the cemetery, and we're all like, is this safe? Is this okay? Whatever. And we can see her. She goes and she sits on one of the tombstones. And she sits there, and when we kind of catch up with her, she says, "Grandpa," and it was her great-great-grandfather. Just like...
And she just knew.
How did she pull that off?
And so that's where I'm like, okay, there's like some sort of like explanation or something. Like we're tethered. And so the house that we live in right now, there's a cemetery at the end of the street. And so when we first moved in, we would have sort of just like the feeling of like extra eyes on us, or you would catch a shadow in the corner, and it was all very scared. None of it was none of it was hostile. There was one sort of like corner of the house where every now and then there was something, and it would just feel like a mischievous sort of watchfulness. But we would have shadow cats for a while, where you would like wake up in the middle of the night and you would see like a cat walk by, you'd reach out to pet it, and like your hand would go through it. So all of those are very like sort of just like neutral, benign experiences with sort of the other side of things. But yeah, then the house that we moved into, my family and I had moved into a house before I was in high school, and we found out the house was like the family sort of moved out in a rush, and they had an older relative who had come to live with them in their like later years, who passed, and they left all of that older relative's stuff in the house. And so we started to just have like boxes getting rearranged, things getting pushed over. Like it felt like something was just sort of like there was energy trapped. And again, I think that the world of science is the world of spirituality and vice versa. And it's all just things that are being explained differently. And so I don't want to sit here and say like, I'm a Ghostbuster, I'm a this or a that, but it's like, there's just been enough experiences where I'm like, however you want to talk about it or explain it, I think there's a lot in this world that like we don't get to see, that we don't need to understand to feel. And I think that's what's kind of like what you were saying, Jesse, but like what ties into this movie is Edith kind of says like, I believe that we see things when we're meant to see them. And so she's one of the few characters in this movie that actively is seeing these ghosts. And they use that metaphor through like the spectral photography and the color blindness and whatever else. But it's like, maybe if somebody's like, hey, this room is haunted, that's when you get to have your experience with a ghost. But otherwise you're like, I don't need to know their business. Keep them out of here.
Yes. Yeah, I'm walking out of the room. They're saying this room's haunted. I'm saying nope. And you know what's funny? Growing up, my dad's kind of like woo. I feel like my dad is in denial about his woo woo-ness. He was like, we're not having. Don't bring a Ouija board into the house. Yeah. Don't call upon. And I was just like, okay. And I just didn't sort of register that until later. And so, like I said, don't believe in him until I do.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Stuart.
When we were kids, we rented a house while we were moving, and it was like a house from the early 1900s. And every day at 4:30 in one specific spot, you could smell pipe smoke.
Mm.
And so and my grandma was like, well, that's the old man who used to live here.
Goodbye.
And he used to smoke every day at that time.
And isn't it funny how people, it's so matter of fact, especially like to people who are, okay, this is scary. Not scary, but like, I'm like connecting dots over here. Okay. Please. So my dad's mom passed like 6 or 7 years ago and would have never categorized them as like spiritual woo-woo. Like they were raised very Catholic. And she like, as she's in like the last month of her life, we're like talking on the phone and she said, do you have the gift? And I said, huh? And she was like, I figured of all the grandkids, you might be the one who would be able to like see. And I was like, what are you talking about, Grandma? And we found that she had a bunch of books on like extra sight, psychic phenomena, like not a ton, but like enough to where I was like, this is a whole part of her that I never knew about, never discovered, never discussed, but like unfortunately they were part of like books that were just donated after she passed. But I was like, she would mention like in the last few weeks of her life, as I think a lot of people do, just like being able to talk with folks. And it was very matter of fact where it was like, oh yeah, that's this person and they're here with us right now. And so it was just interesting that somebody that I never would have ascribed that, like maybe just your dad, it's like, there's something that they know or that they've experienced that maybe they just don't talk about and until it becomes relevant. And then, so she asked about that. And I was like, I just was very curious and I wish I had more time to ask her about that. But
let's talk about Crimson Peak. Let's not talk about
I should really dial into woo-woo side more. Actually, wait, one more quick. Ciara, you'll appreciate this. One time I was staying at my parents' house and they had just gotten a cat. And I was like having trouble sleeping, tossing and turning one night. And it was like 2 a.m. So it was like the woo-woo hour. Yeah. And like I felt something like at the foot of the bed and I was like, that's weird. And the blanket slowly started to like come down. And I was like, ghosts are real. Ghosts are real. I've been this entire time I've lived in denial. Ghosts are real. And I was basically having a panic attack, and I like jolted up, and it was a goddamn cat.
Yeah,
it was a goddamn cat.
Jesse, I was getting very scared for a second. I was like, don't play with what's under the bed or under the covers. I know. I'm like, we gotta go.
You're like, Jesse's uncovering repressed ghost memories on this podcast today.
This is haunting a Hill House, and you're just remembering the experience that you had.
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe ghosts are real, and it was literally my parents' cat.
It was a cat.
Yes.
Same thing.
It was a cat. Yeah, same. Pretty much.
Yeah, cats are. I feel like cats are the most supernatural of
for sure.
Absolutely.
Animals.
Yeah. Which is interesting because Edith gets a dog in this, which I feel like dogs can't see ghosts, but cats can.
Okay,
well, the dog is like a weird specter.
That movie?
Wait, what movie?
The movie about the dog. Is it called Dog or no? What is it called? Wow, I'm really bad with movie names today. So sorry.
Man's Best Friend.
No. It's called. Wait, fuck! I can see it
Boy.
in my Good Boy.
Good Boy. Where
Good Boy. Yes.
So, but you're right. It's cats, but people, I think people worry about dogs more than they do cats.
Yeah, well, dogs are a little more needy. Dogs need to be around.
True. Cats are like, you need me. I don't need you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Jesse, do you want to tell us some fun facts about Crimson Peak?
Girls, I would love to jump into some fun facts about Crimson Peak. There's honestly no shortage of them, which is nice. The house which is a character unto itself, was built in its entirety, and everything we see in it was made for the house. So there was nothing reused from salvaged parts. So Del Toro, Ciara, back to your point of Del Toro being a great communicator and like seeing fully having the vision and communicating that vision to everyone. He did it. He did the damn thing.
He did the thing.
Also, Del Toro claims that one of the inspirations for the film was an actual supernatural event that happened to him while location scouting for the Hobbit trilogy, because he co-wrote the Hobbit movies. So
one good thing came out of those Hobbit movies.
I think Desolation of Smaug kind of rules, but that's neither here nor there. While location scouting for those, when he was originally set to direct them as well. So a world, something we could have gotten and we didn't. He and some members of the production stayed the night at a haunted hotel in New Zealand. Del Toro claims that one night after midnight, the woo-woo hour, he could hear the sounds of a murder, including whimpering and screams, coming from a vent leading to an empty bathroom. This event was the basis for a sequence in the film when Edith witnesses a ghost in a bathtub. So I feel like though Del Toro's gone on record by saying like there's not an afterlife, like we have to like live our lives to the best of our ability now. But I know he was raised Catholic, and his like grandmother was very like intensely religious, so I think that has influenced a lot of his work. But his inspirations for this film include The Innocents, 1961, The Haunting, 63, The Exorcist, The Omen, and The Shining. So ironically, Stuart, there's Rebecca.
Just because he says it wasn't influenced by Rebecca doesn't mean it wasn't influenced by Rebecca.
Yeah, exactly.
Although this is a double feature month, not an influence month. We've done influence months before. This is just double features we determine. So
that's true. That's true.
So Guillermo del Toro, back off.
Del Toro, step off, Del Toro.
Yeah.
This is a fun one. Benedict Cumberbatch was originally cast as the lead, but left the project due to creative differences.
Money.
Bloop, bloop. I think that's interesting, though. I gotta say, hotness scale, Tom Hiddleston is a little hotter to me than Benedict, respectfully.
I do think that Tom Hiddleston, like, and maybe it's the bias of just seeing this project how it is, but like I think that there's Benedict Cumberbatch. Oftentimes, like from my perspective, he doesn't come across as warm, and so I think what's important for this character, like not that he is explicitly cold. It's not a binary system in temperature, but like. I think that this character requires a level of like deception and warmth in order to play the part of like baiting these women in. And then, you know, whether or not those feelings are genuine. But I think that had Benedict Cumberbatch been in that role, it maybe would have felt more of the like schemy, shammy part of that the whole time, because it lacks a little bit of that. Like I could actually fall in love with you, and I could fall in love with you.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't feel both sides of the coin.
Yeah. He's very charismatic. And I also I'm going to lie to myself, and I'm going to say that Del Toro was tapped into the Taylor Swift, Tom Hiddleston discourse. And so around this time, so maybe that had some
Del Toro,
influence.
famous Swiftie.
Actually, girls, you know, some publicist was like, he's a great choice because everyone's talking about him right now. So...
he was a good choice because his name is Thomas, and that was really helpful when I was taking my notes.
Love when that happens.
I was like, for you. What's his character's name? Thomas.
Perfect. Another fun casting fact, Emma Stone was originally in the role of Edith. But couldn't do it because of scheduling.
So that would have been interesting because her and Jessica Chastain are similar types more than Jessica Chastain and Mia. Because like Emma Stone now could play the Jessica Chastain role.
I actually, I think that's very true. I think also Mia has a more wholesome energy than maybe Emma does. Yeah. Maybe only because I've seen Emma, and like Begonia was intensely like, kind of like, I don't know what the word is, but
breaking for her typecasting quite a bit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I like Mia. I think I'm a Mia stan.
And there's an element of Alice in this character of it too.
Yes. That's so true. Yeah, that's so true. Also, I haven't watched Alice in a while, but I remember like really liking it when it came out. But I'm actually not so sure that it holds up. We could talk about that later.
I never saw any of them, so
Really?
Yeah. I'm
That's
not a big Alice
surprising.
in Wonderland guy. I think it's never been a story that's connected with me.
Okay,
So I wasn't
well.
like, oh, I'm going to spend my money to go see this Tim Burton movie.
Okay, well, that's
Your feelings are valid, both of you.
Yeah.
Your feelings are
Validate
valid,
me.
Stuart. Ciara, your feelings are valid. Stuart, shut the hell up. Last but not least, Doug, as we talked at the beginning of the conversation, Doug Jones, aka Abe Sapien from the Hellboy movies, and the titular Pan in Pan's Labyrinth, portrays Lady Sharp, mother of Lucille. I also wrote Edith's. Oh, he portrays Edith's mother as well.
He's all of the ghosts, actually.
He's all the ghosts. He's all the ghosts. Yeah, you're right.
Except for the baby.
So
no baby.
Yeah,
He's in Ghost Drag.
Hello.
He's a ghost drag.
Trying to learn.
Yes. Doug Jones, who's doing it like Doug Jones? But yeah, that's my collection of fun facts for you guys and the listeners.
And we'll start at the beginning where we are declared that ghosts are real.
Yes.
We meet young Edith. Her mom has recently passed. We see her funeral, and we see our first interaction with a ghost on the night of her mom's funeral. I love the design of these ghosts.
Me too. Yep. They're like almost this is a weird word to use, but they're like wet. They look like they're not in like a Ghostbusters way, but there's something about them that's like gooey and gross and singular.
I would describe them as like soft solid, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like they look like
Newtonian fluid ghosts.
Yes. Yeah, they look like you could touch them, but you might get in a little bit. Like you're not going straight through, but like they do look like they have weight to them, is what I'm maybe saying.
Yes. Yep.
There's a really cool. Oh, go ahead, Jesse. Keep going.
No. I was going to say something really stupid, and I'm sure. Yes, you go ahead.
I kind of want to hear the stupid thing you're going to
say. Take the stupid away.
Can you imagine your mom coming back, your deceased mother coming back as a ghost that is like kind of a demon? Like the fact that this first ghost is like horrifying.
It's scary.
Like, I would be so pissed. I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? Like, Mom, why do you look like that? Why are you coming for me in like a scary way? I just found that kind of.
It is. I was thinking about this because spoiler alert for a 10-year-old movie that you've all allegedly seen, and you collected an episode named after it. The ghosts are not actually evil.
Yeah.
And I like movies where the ghosts are trying to protect the protagonist from the human villains.
Right.
And so, but because they're ghosts and because they're scary, you're not like, well, what is it trying to tell me?
This is Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. That's where I first learned that lesson. Is like, listen, the zombies and the ghosts, they're trying to tell you they're coming from a place of hurt. And what I was going to talk about was the design, like you were talking about, the like wetness and the texture. There's this beautiful like mix of practical and CGI that's happening in these characters to I feel like add to that. But the mom, I think it's so interesting that her ghost is like all black, like head to toe, all black.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which in the world of like horror, demon, ghost design, whatever, might not seem that strange. But then when we end up in meeting the other ghosts, they are steeped in the red because of the clay. So there's this storytelling that we sort of learn in this world that like the ghosts, because they're carrying whatever, wherever they were, whatever it was when she died of, I think it was black cholera, that it's like that is sort of what inspires the look of her deceased form, which anyways, I just think artistically that was really cool.
Yes.
As opposed to just letting them all be like transparent.
Yeah.
Right.
That's really, I hadn't connected that. The black, with the black cholera.
Yep.
Which is not a disease I'm super familiar with. But
yeah,
it's bad for your lungs.
Seems like I don't want it. Seems like a not great disease. But yeah, I feel like this is maybe his most. It's so much is told visually. The storytelling is so visual.
Yeah.
Which sounds maybe reductive to say, but like like you said, Ciara, like you said, all the ghosts could have been like white and basic.
Yeah.
And,
they could have just been like sheets.
Mm-hmm.
They could have been sheets.
Yeah.
But you're right, Jesse. Like her mom is specifically non-human, like deteriorated skull, decayed face, long fingers, like coming at her very intensely. It's not maternal at all. It's meant to strike fear. And so as we sort of learn, it's like, she's coming sort of out of space and time to be like, I already know where your story's headed. So heed this warning, little girl.
Heed this warning. Crimson Peak, don't go.
Don't go.
Don't go. Crimson Peak, stay away.
We skip 14 years in the future, where we meet Edith as an adult, and very, very hot Dr. Alan McMichael, played by Charlie Hunnam. The fact that this is even a competition, I'm sorry.
Know. What the? Yeah, bring it out.
What are we doing
what
here?
The fuck?
Like Thomas Hiddleston, no shade to Thomas Hiddleston, but you put the two of them next to each other, and I'm not even looking at them.
Why can't you have both?
This sickly British man, or this beautiful other, British man doing an American accent, but still,
Yeah, I do occasionally find Charlie Hunnam's acting like not the best, but I think he's good here. There's not much that's asked of him in this movie, but
he is like hot hero.
He's hot hero.
And
he's
sometimes that's what we are.
Yeah, he's a Del Toro collaborator. Pacific Rim, shout out, which is, I'm going to say it now, that's my favorite Del Toro. I think it's a tie between Pacific and Pans for me.
Okay.
Is that insane?
It's not
Pans and
I don't think it would be like most people's first pick.
No, I fully recognize that it's pulpy, like a pulpy mess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I don't think that I don't think you're out of, you're not unqualified to say that. Yeah.
All opinions we're going to validate your opinions.
But also Blade 2. Let's not forget his early work. Blade 2 is
Hellboy and the Golden Army.
Love.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
I think I'm a Shape of Water boy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I really like that movie.
You like fish sex. That's what you
Famously.
like.
I was going to say, who doesn't?
Yeah.
That's a shorter list.
And we're here to validate that.
Sorry, I took us on a tangent. I don't remember what happened.
No, it's okay.
We're talking about
I'll get us back on track. Yeah, the doctor's hot. We meet Thomas Sharp, who is Thomas Hiddleston. He is there to ask Edith's dad for money for his red coal mining contraption that he's inventing. And her dad says, no, I'm not going to give you money because your hands are too soft.
That's a bitch. Or sorry.
Her dad is a bitch. I love a straight man queening out. I love him just being like, with how soft your hands are, I don't think so.
He humiliated him.
I should be wearing a corset. I was like, okay, queen, go on.
Yes. Yes.
And
he's
that
like
is an
in the
interesting
bathroom, robe, shaving. He's got his butler delivering shit. I'm like, fuck off.
He does die in a bathhouse, so he is, I think, the gay representation of this movie. Well, and then after he dies, she's like, yeah, he was 60, but like that's why he wore like good.
He wanted to dress younger.
He was really self-conscious about his age, and I was like, okay, queen, okay.
Yeah, the projecting on display is crazy.
But he does die, but not until he tells Thomas. So Thomas and Lucille, who's played by the beautiful Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
They are there, and he's sort of wooing Edith. We get a sort of a montage of her. Lucille kills a butterfly by feeding it to ants.
Okay,
actually,
can we pause for a second? That scene is one of the most intense scenes in this movie. That little animated sequence of the ants eating the eyeball of the butterfly.
Yes.
Like I was like,
yes,
we really went in at this moment. Like the smashing of the head was intense. Like shout out to the effects team. Like that, we were not afraid to show it. I don't know what it was, but the ants eating the butterfly eye. I was like, okay, I need to take a break. Like that.
I'm
that
really
got
obsessed.
Me.
Yeah, well, it kind of feels out of nowhere because they're having like this idyllic day at the park, and then all of a sudden she's just like, "Watch this."
I actually feel like, I mean, it's a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
If there's one criticism I have of this movie, it's like it's a little too on the nose, right? Like immediately, Stuart, after that or during that picnic, Edith and not Edith, Jessica Chastain and Tom Hiddleston kind of like sneak off, and they're like, we're gonna like, you sort of get their plan early on, and I wish the movie was a little more reserved about like their plan. That's
I don't think Guillermo del Toro is not known for subtlety. And I'm not looking for subtlety from my Guillermo del Toro movies.
This movie, to me,
I like.
Sorry.
if Lucille had a mustache, she'd be twirling it the whole time.
Yeah.
Like she's never, there's no point I like it because you've got the true good in Mia Wachowski, you got the true evil in Lucille, and then Thomas sort of in between. And so it gives you like the barometer for which to measure where Thomas is at any point in the movie. And you see him scheming and you see him showing good elements. And it's an interesting thing to sort of see. I feel like a lot of times in movies, especially like this, the men are very linear and the women are very wishy-washy. And in this movie, we have the good woman, the bad woman, and the man between who can't sort of untangle where he is. And I think that's a really interesting POV, but Lucille is evil the whole time.
The characters in this and the writing feel like this was a play, if that makes any sense. Like,
totally.
I think, like you were saying, Jesse, sometimes like there are things where you have to show the audience in a play, and some of those moments feel like we're sort of letting the audience in, not so subtly. But yeah, I remember when I first saw this, I had to look up and see, like, is this based on a stage show? And to learn that it was more of an original piece, I was like, oh, that's interesting, because it feels like something that would have been adapted from stage.
Yes. Yep. It's amazing that this movie exists, really. It's not based on anything original idea from, like, I mean, clearly so much money was spent and work was spent into like building this vision.
Yeah.
This movie's amazing, if only because it exists.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously it's amazing for several reasons.
Bring back original stories.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it is like, in some ways, we were talking about this on, I think, our Rebecca episode last week, but like, sometimes I like when someone does their version of something rather than a direct remake of something. And we were talking about it in the context of Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights, where it's like, I'd rather just see what her version of that would be. And in some ways I would have rather seen what Guillermo del Toro's version of Frankenstein would have been, rather than his direct adaptation of Mary Shelley's book. Because I mean, he went out of the way of what the book is. He's not just adapting the book, but like, I like when you have like, it's influenced by, and this is very influenced by all those movies you were discussing earlier, and I'd add Rebecca. But also it's his own thing. It's its own story. It's such an interesting sort of three-hander dynamic between these three really good actors of just like, who's where, what's happening. And I really like this movie, guys. So Edith's dad offers a private, this is where the movie keeps its stuff close to the vest, where a private investigator comes to Edith's dad and is like, I have bad information for you, and we don't really understand what it is until later in the movie.
Yes.
But so he offers Thomas and Lucille money to break Edith's heart and to basically tell her book sucks. And so
that's so shitty.
So
he's so shitty about it.
He does that.
Just
but then
the next day,
I did take it personally because, like you were saying, this movie is a great metaphor for like literally like writing this movie's a story. This movie's about stories, right? Like, I mean, when she's turning in her draft to the publisher or whatever, the publisher's like, this is a ghost story, but like you should put like we need a love story. And it's like very, once again, it's very on the nose, but
her handwriting's too feminine. They clocked her.
Yes. He could have fucking broke her heart in like a bathroom or somewhere that's like just the two of them. You know, he didn't need to do it in front of everyone, not in public. So shitty.
Well, and also I do think it was a way to ensure knowing that they were gonna, in the next scene, Edith's dad gets murdered at the bathhouse. If he embarrasses her in front of everyone she knows, and then her dad dies, there's not a chance of her staying there.
Yeah, true.
And
that's
so
true.
he sort of, I think he did that publicly in a way to sort of be like, you have no space here. I've burned that for you.
Yes,
if you want to love me, we're not staying here after I just embarrassed you in front of these people. We're going to go to my fucking weird house.
I get it. Like Ciara, like you said, I just took it personally. So
it's okay. You should, yeah.
You should take it personally, Jesse.
As a writer, I had to really step in and be like, representation matters, and I really am pissed off about this.
But so at Edith's dad's funeral, we do see her. Actually, wait, sorry. let me step back for a second. So at the same time that Edith's dad is being murdered, she gets a letter from Thomas that is explaining that her dad made him do that, and he actually loves her book. And she rushes to him, and then they find out that her dad died, and we see her wearing the wedding ring from earlier at her dad's funeral. And this is how we get to England, which is rainy and snowy and red and dirty. And
if a guy did this and he texted you that, like, literally, 2 days later, would you just go running back?
Honestly, if he said, "Hey, I actually loved your book," that's enough. That's enough.
If someone really enough. If someone insulted Jesse's book and then texted him "you up," he might go.
I might go. I really, we don't need to get into my history with men, but yeah.
We've all been there. We've all been the victims in our own stories.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just had a temperature check. Are ghosts real, and are you calling him? Is kind of that's what I needed to know.
Yes.
The two questions I ask at the beginning of every Grindr conversation.
Yeah, I'm logging on.
Are ghosts real, and are you calling him?
I think you should do some guerrilla marketing, and you could figure that would be an interesting series.
Oh my God, you're so right. Okay.
And then I'm just sending out the link to our link tree.
Exactly. Yeah.
For more on the subject of Are Ghosts Real, go to another gay horror pod.
Right.
Wait, I forget where we are.
We're in England.
Okay.
You just got there.
The motherland, Jesse.
The motherland. That's correct.
Yes.
Wait, I just not to be like another criticism. I love her. I love her very much. I feel as if Jessica Chastain was maybe a little miscast.
Okay, speak on it.
I think she is a little too. What's the word I'm looking for? She's a little too. She's not evil enough. Like Jessica Chastain has like a gentle energy kind of that I think is permeates a little too.
See, I think you're bringing your baggage into this because I thought she was really good.
Don't tell me what I'm doing. I think a better choice would have maybe been a little like Charlize Theron, someone with a little more barbs to like. Yeah,
I think someone maybe a little bit older. I think that would have maybe been the thing.
You know what? Let me walk back. Maybe someone British because Jessica's accent slipping. It's slipping, girl. It's slipping.
The accents in this movie are a little wiggly no matter what. So whatever way you're coming from it, it's a little fluid. And you know what?
Yeah. Tom is obviously like British, but yeah, Jessica's like.
Even I feel like sometimes he sounded like Loki a little bit.
What is Loki's accent?
Loki is like British, but having to match
the Australian
sure.
But it does feel like Nicole Kidman's dialect coach was present in the making of this movie. Derogatory.
You know what? People always say like, "Oh God, there goes her accent again." I don't really catch it that much. Maybe because I just love her so much, but
I think her accent in the last few years has been really good because she's been playing a lot of Americans. And I think once you get into it, you're sort of
Ciara, you're like, no, that's not the case.
I'm usually
you're not allowed to say that, Stuart.
I'm usually just staring at the wigs.
Yeah,
Ciara, temp check on Nicole Kidman.
Love her as a human and a person. I always am like, what's happening with the wigs? What's happening with the wigs?
Yes,
that's usually where I'm starting.
I don't know another actress that has publicly gone on record by being like, wigs are like essential.
Her and Reese Witherspoon are the two women of that sort of like same generation of actresses where I'm like, okay, the hair in this is we could have tried a little harder here.
Yes, that's true.
Well, as having worked on a Nicole Kidman production, I can tell you a lot of effort goes into the wigs.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
And that's
it's just not always on the screen.
I was going to say, ventilating and creating the wigs, that is a whole other artistry that is amazing. Yeah. Sometimes, it just is a little clucky on camera, and you know what? So am I. So what do you want?
It is, but it is also, it's like a time thing. And I think especially with like male directors where they're like, it's one wig. What can it take? 10 minutes to put on? And it's like, no.
Can you imagine saying that to Nicole Kidman? The fucking gall.
The audacity.
So you wanted, weren't you just complaining about how this movie was lacking subtlety and you want her to be more evil.
Yeah, I just wish there's something a little too soft about Jessica Chastain. Soft isn't the right word, and I'm so sorry, but there's something a little too. I just wish she was a little more intensely. Yeah, you know what? Clock me. Yeah, that's what. That's I need more evil from.
She said,
from
"Look
her,
at
but
these.
then again,
Look at these bugs eating these other bugs."
Yes. And you were like, she's too maternal. She's too sweet.
Well, but counterpoint. Let me counterpoint myself. She is Edith's competition, right? Like she is there. She's in a relationship with her brother, and she's like, he's my love, not yours.
Yeah. But I do think in relationship to Edith, she is the evil counterpart of Edith.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not co-signing your
don't co-sign
your take on Miss Chastain.
I'm sorry, I have to shit on this, Ciara. It's my contractual obligation to shit at least one time on everything that we talk about.
It's your
only
podcast.
One time is
shit
actually
away.
Impressive for you. So
yeah, shit away. Okay, Del Toro, I love you.
This is where I wrote that this movie does feel like Silent Hill a little bit. Where it's because we sort of are introduced to the house and we meet the elevator. I don't think you don't meet elevators.
Yeah, but it is a character.
Yeah. The elevator is the fourth character in this movie.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, ahead of Charlie Hunnam's doctor.
Yes, kind of.
Who's the fifth character of this movie.
Yeah.
There's a sexy moment between Edith and Thomas in his workshop in front of
with those heads,
like dolls, like doll heads.
That's right.
I do like the whole this whole movie is until we know what's actually happening at the end is just Lucille third wheeling them. Where they're like making out in his workshop and she's like, do you want some tea?
Yeah, she's definitely. Well, she gives Edith a book on Kama Sutra. Is that what it is? She's like, buckle up for some sex with my brother.
Yes.
And Edith's like, okay.
And Lucille's like, I'll give you some tips on that subject later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is like
this
weird
might be the
foreplay in that scene where it's like the whole time, we're at that time we're rooting for them to sort of have this like passionate Dickens-esque kind of love affair, and Tom has that charisma, and so we're getting there, and then it's like we're automatically clued in like something is really off, like everything about this setting feels inappropriate, and then when you kind of contextualize like, there's like children's toys in here, it adds this sort of like really gross layer of that, like of something is really disconnected from this like rancid adult intimate moment that's supposed to be happening here.
Well, at some point Lucille says was explaining how cold their mother was and how they were basically only ever allowed to be in the nursery or the attic when they were kids. I'm like, well, that's you in this big house, you want access to a couple more rooms.
Also, the house is, it's so dilapidated. Can you imagine being a new bride and like going into your like new husband's house and being like, there's a hole in the ceiling? Like, what are we going to do about that?
They really
and he's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was going to say, they really kind of gloss over that. And it's, visually amazing. Like the snow and the color, like everything about it is visually enticing. I'm like, girl, you are an educated woman and you're fully like, you haven't even gotten the joke yet. Like it cannot be that good. Like you are fully lost. Like she literally, and then she's like, "Can I get the keys to the house?" And she's like, "Maybe." Like I'm like, okay,
we'll see.
On.
We'll see if you're worthy.
We would have been fighting. It would have been like, no, hold on.
Yeah. She's like, actually, you don't need keys. There's a hole in the wall in the back, so you could just walk in through there.
Just walk in any room you want.
That's kind of valid, though. But to be fair, I know we're jumping ahead a little bit. The part where you really would have lost me is when they're like, oh, yeah, the pipes, it's kind of like red and bloody. I'm like, I love a bath. Do not fuck with my bath. Like, if it's going to be cold in this house, I need a hot bath.
I need a bath.
And if you're going to tell me it's going to be dirt in my tub, no thank you.
Yes. It's also so red when it comes out that you can't convince me when it is clear, there's still not remnants of bullshit in the water. You know what I mean? I'm like, no.
The water
also, is red coal real?
Yes, exactly.
Red clay?
Red is red clay.
Red clay. Oh, for some reason I thought it was red coal.
No. Clay.
Yeah.
I didn't understand any of this movie.
I do have to. Okay, I in watching this back, maybe I was being overly critical, and like I wasn't critical enough to go do historical research. But I was like, how lucrative was the clay mining business? That like at one time your family had this like property and could afford it and pay all of the miners or whatever, and then now we don't have them. Like I was like, how much did we need clay like that? Like you couldn't go dig it up. I don't know. I was like, what? No. Like visually, I appreciate the resource. I'm going to turn a blind eye to it. Like, don't need to think about it that much. But I was like, how much money were y'all making before?
That's exactly right. I think it's an incredible visual motif. I think that's it. I think like,
and you know what? I'm okay with sometimes things just looking cool. That's fine. Just own it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's so unimportant that I this whole time thought it was red coal.
There's a reason her dad was like, I'm not funding your goddamn clay experiment. Like, we're not doing that.
Yeah, what are we doing? Making pots? I don't think so.
Right.
At this point, she starts to wake up in the middle of the night and Thomas is not in bed. She keeps like waking up and like coughing blood and then being like, husband, and he's just not there.
Yeah.
And then she like will wander down and they'll be like, ghost in an elevator.
In her like unbelievable nightgown.
The nightgowns in this movie
the costumes at
gorgeous.
Ciara, let me ask you, do you have a favorite look from this movie?
Okay, so like the nightgown is sort of just because of like the visual of the poster and her running around in it. I think that like is in my mind, that's like the look of the movie. And that's like when I think about like who I want to channel in those things, it's like it's that moment. I do really love though, there's I think it's Edith's, like, because to be fair, Lucille's styling is meant to be like tight and strict and constricting and all of that. I like the color play that's happening in the relationship between the two of them, but there's I think it's in that butterfly sequence towards the beginning. It's this like sort of chartreuse and like cream or like daisy, like it's we're getting innocent and evil. Like there's no subtlety here. The backdrop of like blonde and brunette, that's the dichotomy. But just like I love the structure of sleeves and the sort of floral embellishments. I also love, there's another one, again, all of Edith's wardrobe I just really like. But it's like that sort of like gold and I think it's like a dark brown or black sort of accent, whatever. But she has this fierce hat. I love a hat. I mean, like, so anyways, the styling team kind of popped off in this one.
Yeah,
they really did. This is more of a slight look, but when they're at the park and the picnic, Edith's wearing a belt that is like two hands that are clasped. It's kind of like blink. It's kind of like a blink and you'll miss it, but it looks really cool. They're like these like it almost looks like ceramic hands. It's really
well.
Cool
And this
stuff.
was Kate Hawley did the costumes, who did Frankenstein and just won the Oscar.
Oh,
for that.
Nice. Was this movie nominated for anything, sir?
This was not nominated for Best Costumes.
Damn.
And if it wasn't nominated for Best Costumes, I would wager a guess that it wasn't nominated for anything. Because
what a goddamn crime.
No, this movie, I think craft-wise, this movie, I understand criticisms of this movie's story. Because it does sort of, and we find this a lot with ghost movies where like they're kind of hard for us to talk about because there's like 4 sequences in a row that's like, it's the day, and then she goes to bed, follows another ghost, finds a ghost in the elevator, goes down and finds the Enola trunk, and then she the next night she finds the ghost in the bathtub that you were talking about earlier. And it is sort of if you lose track of the scripting, it does become a little repetitive. And so you really have to have a purpose of thought behind each of the ghost encounters rather than just these really cool designs and then sort of leading us to different exposition. And that's sort of where but the craft of this movie is so good that it kind of makes up for the fact that in the second act it kind of gets a little bit like, okay, where are we? What are we doing here? And really until we get to Edith and Thomas finally having sex, the movie, and it works because it is sort of dreamy, and we're sort of like, is she actually seeing these ghosts? Even though we've already established that ghosts are real, But the second act itself is sort of, it's so structureless that it's sort of you find your mind wandering a little bit.
I also think, I mean, the idea, we're kind of left wondering why Thomas married Edith, like, for most of the movie, and it turns out it's just for money. I feel like maybe for me that was like a little anticlimactic. Like I would have liked a little more, like, I don't know, something a little, there was something in Edith's past that like connected the two of them. I don't know. But yeah, my favorite parts without a doubt of this movie are the ghost encounters, because they are freaky and weird, and Del Toro is a master at
Do you
ghosts.
even though they are kind of the same formula, which I think we
now that I just read them.
No. I mean, like it's the same thing's true of like other haunted house or possession movie. Like it's rare that that's part of why when I find a movie that successfully is like during the daytime, it's also engaging and scary. We're not just waiting for everybody to go to bed and have an encounter. That's rarer, but yeah, because that is sort of formulaic, we do see that here. Is there a particular ghost or encounter that you found to be the most interesting or unsettling? Because they do follow sort of the same cycle.
Yes, that's a great point. Yeah, no, I think probably when Edith, I think it's at night she wakes up. It might be during the day, but she is in that hallway, and she is there's a closet door that's like kind of open, and we see a ghost slam it very quickly. And there's something so unnerving about the ghost's, like the way it operates its face in that scene. It slams it shut, and you're like, She opens the closet again, no ghost to be found, and then it's like moments later crawling at her.
Yes,
the crawling ghost is really creepy.
Yeah,
that's
so
the one
I think
that
that's
really,
probably my favorite.
Yeah, the crawling one really, and I think it's the physicality of like, like when I think of apparitions, like they are not tethered to gravity in the same way, and the crawling aspect of it feels like a corpse, and we see like trailing intestines a little bit. Like it is a lot more viscerally scary to have something crawling after you.
Right.
The bathtub one, because it's a little bit more fully formed. Like I think the design of that one is really cool, but from a fear factor, the crawling one is like, I'm like, ooh, you got me there, gal.
Agree, 100%.
And we talked about it earlier, but I think the weight of the ghost is creepy.
Yes,
because ghosts are usually so airy, and these do feel more solid, more liquid.
Right.
And so it does, like, normally you don't feel like a ghost could crawl.
Yeah.
Why would it need to?
They fly and they whisper.
Yeah, why would they need to?
Yeah, but like seeing a ghost that's crawling is like, oh no, what happened to that ghost?
Oh my God, you guys, this is stressing me out.
Yeah. So
I don't believe in ghosts.
So I'm at the hotel having sex.
I've been there the whole time.
Is it the hotel or is it this? It's like
the post office.
Yeah, from his ass from the post. Yeah, they're staying at the post office.
The post office.
Hell yeah, let's fucking go.
Yeah, mail's not the only thing getting stamped there.
Okay. Yeah, also like
that was not an intentional.
That was good. No, that was
dramatic
good.
sip. I just
the way that they were like, well, you can stay the night if you want to, and I'm like, does every business have a spare bedroom? Like, yeah, I'm like, where are you sleeping?
Yeah.
Like, is there an inn attached to the post office? Yeah. What's the
I don't know
floor plan of this place? Yeah, it was very odd.
They're just having sex on a bunch of like mail.
That's what it seemed like.
Into it. Yeah. Screw me on some mail.
And this is where she gets a letter from Milan that's addressed to E Sharp. And so they think it's for her. Which I had trouble connecting because I thought it said Edith on it. And then later I was like, oh, it's E Sharp, which is how they got confused.
Yeah.
Because she's not the first Mrs. E Sharp.
Rebecca. Right? What? Mrs. DeWinter?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Right? Sorry, Ciara. We literally just talked about Rebecca.
Yeah, it's a double feature. It's a double feature.
I've already forgotten.
By.
It's a double feature. Yeah. Yes.
Not inspired by.
Yes. Yes.
So Guillermo del Toro, go away from me.
Don't. I've heard he's so nice. I've heard he's so wonderful to work with. So
that's on my bucket list. A long time ago. A long time ago. Quick side tangent.
Please.
The head of his effects department in Spain. I was supposed to be in Europe for a summer. This was the summer that when COVID was happening. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be in Europe. And he was like, just come in and whatever we're working on, you can work on with us. So like it's very European to feel that way. But yeah, he was like, you're an artist, just come create art with us, whatever it is.
Oh,
and I was
that
like,
would be so cool.
And then COVID happened, and that whole European trip got canceled. And I was like, okay, well, missed my chance to work on a Del Toro project of some kind.
Yeah.
At least for the time being. Knock on wood, we're putting that.
It's going to happen again. We're setting intention. We're setting manifestation now. It's going to happen again.
Thank you. I agree.
What does he have coming up next? He has something. I feel like he's been trying to make Out at the Mountains of Madness forever. I think it got canceled though, but
I think it was going to cost $300 million, and Netflix was like, okay, we don't have that money.
Yeah, but fucking, they spend that on it.
They will.
They will. They'll find it. Yeah.
He has a movie called The Buried Giant coming out. The journey of Axel and Beatrice, a couple who set off on a journey to find their son, who they have not seen for some time and actually do not remember very well.
What a summary. What a setup.
So be on the lookout for that. Okay. All right. Back to Edith's tale of horror.
Of screwing in the post office.
Horror or horror?
Yes.
So they have sex. It's sex. Pretty hot.
It's pretty hot.
Yeah. And then the next day they go back to back home, and Lucille is not happy.
Loses it. Oh my God.
She's so pissed.
She's making breakfast in that nasty ass kitchen, throws the eggs on the pan, throws them around. She's like, how dare you?
She scrapes those fucking, I don't know if we can swear, but she scrapes that with her bare hand. I was like, you're foul. You're foul for that now. Like, I don't know why.
You're dirty.
Yeah, I was like, that is gross. Like, you are unhinged at this moment. We cannot even just scoop them up. Yeah, I was like, she's off her rocker right now.
Yes, to even cook in the kitchen is a sin, let alone throw eggs and grab them and put them back in the pan.
Just to context that, Jesse doesn't believe that ghosts are real unless they are, that you should not cook in the kitchen because where else would you cook? And the best place to have sex is the post office. So let's just, that is what we're working with here.
Jesse lives his life by 3 truths.
Exactly.
And there they are. This is the cards you say.
Ciara, thank you for summing that up. It has not been clear to our listeners who have asked those questions specifically.
This whole time they've been asking, and he's like, I can't clarify it. I don't know.
This whole time.
You just need
sex good on stamps?
Yeah.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
And clear the air. I also got to say, I don't love eggs. I feel like the texture of eggs I'm not crazy about. So I just need to get that off my chest.
Just no eggs at all.
If I have to choose a style, I'm going to go scrambled, which it looks like was what she made. But I just, the texture of eggs is like kind of spongy. Don't love them. Stuart, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that it didn't look like, that was not a soft scramble. That was a hard scramble. They had been sitting on there too long.
They were burned.
They weren't appealing to me.
Yeah.
But Lucille's going through it. Her brother boyfriend had sex with his wife. And that's like, that's tough. Nobody wants that.
And then she's just like, I'm sorry, I freaked out.
Yeah.
And Edith's like, okay, girl. Like, there's not really a resolution to their conduct situation.
But this is also where Edith sees the Enola key and steals it off of the keychain.
Yes.
And then she goes down and finds into the trunk and finds all these letters written from and to Enola, basically being like, this brother and sister are poisoning me, and I think they only married me because they want to steal my money. And this is also where Charlie Hunnam also finds out, because earlier in the movie, Edith's dad is like, you've gone to Milan, you've gone to Edinburgh, and now you're in New York in London, and now you're in New York trying to find money. What he meant by that was Thomas has been married 3 times before. And each time the woman passed, and each time he inherited their money. And then he's still spending that money to try to find a more efficient way to dig up clay.
How?
Stuart, you're waking it up right now, because I there was a brief time where I was gaslighting myself while rewatching this, and I was like, they're dead the whole time. He's a ghost, because there's no way that's not true. That's not true.
Right.
Ghosts are not real, Jesse.
Right.
But I was like, he must have been playing this scheme for decades. Right. Because there's no way that he hasn't figured out how to work this fucking machine at this point with all of these people's money. And I was like, okay, no, he's still alive. He is not old. He is a young man. And so this scheme, so I'm like, okay, first of all, these women that you're marrying must not have that much money, or you're not spending it on anything fruitful, because I'm like, we're just throwing it away. You cannot have done this scheme 3 times at this point and you're still like, God, got nowhere on it.
No.
But also, you've done this scheme 3 times and not filled in the hole in your roof.
Yeah, I know.
like start with the roof.
Come on. Start with your living situation.
They should have started with the bidet and then the hole in the roof. That's the priorities.
Bidet first, roof second.
Yes. Bidets are around at this point. I feel like bidets actually were around earlier.
Bidets have been with us since at least
definitely in Europe, but when they were in America, there was not a bidet in sight.
Okay, so I'm seeing Google AI says the bidet was invented in France in the late 17th to early 18th century.
So take that answer with it, understanding that Google AI is not great.
Yeah,
exactly. It was actually invented in China in the 5th century.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Ciara. I feel like also the clay machine doesn't even look that complicated. It's just like it's a digging machine.
It's
a digging machine. Like it's like what? How much clay? How much clay do you need to be like? I don't know.
Well, this is why I think I thought it was red coal,
like coal. Yeah,
because I thought they were digging through the clay to get something more valuable. And
I will say
the clay is on the surface.
Yeah,
it's right there.
It's right there.
Why do you have to dig down into like where it's sinking into the house? Yeah. I think the clay thing is truly just like a strong visual choice. And if we think too hard about it, it really falls apart. What I do like in general about this movie is that there's a lot of other like science and technological innovations that get brought up and told. Like we're talking about the spectral photography at the beginning of the movie. Like there's other conversations around, like we were talking a bit earlier about the forced sort of gender role on the film being a parallel in this actual story of like, it's a ghost story, but it needs a love story. And we see that playing out. But like in this, there is also a very quote, like solar or masculine idea of like innovation, invention, building, constructing. But like Edith has a passion for all of those things, which I think is fun and cool. I don't remember exactly how we got to this point. They should have just bought a bidet. That's the technology we needed to talk about.
But it is
everything
funny
would have been solved.
I feel like if he let Edith invent the machine, it would be done.
We would have been done at the first marriage.
We would have been done.
If he had been like, hey, can you look at this machine and figure out what's wrong with it? She would have been like, oh, there's no on button or something stupid like that.
Unplug it, plug it back in. Yeah.
Yes. But here we are. Thomas is on like a 10-year journey to marry all these. And I think they also imply that they're all older women. And so he's like traveling the world, finding the world's richest MILFs, marrying them, letting his sister murder them, so that he can go back to having sex with his sister.
Yes. Also, one of them was pregnant.
Just to invent a machine. Like, what are we doing?
Very confusing. Very confusing. He was down bad for his sister.
We find cylinders that she plays on a gramophone that also tell her that the previous person's being poisoned, but she's still drinking some tea after this. And I'm like, girl, stop drinking the liquid. Yeah, the tea, mama. Like, what are we doing? Like,
she should have spilled the tea. You
shouldn't trust these people. You shouldn't be consuming liquids that they're handing you. Both Enola and another previous dead woman have told you in various ways, like, they're killing you. And she's like, well, there's like one more sip of tea, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah. She's like, girl, the tea. The ghosts are like, girl, the tea. And she's like, I know. It's delicious. And they're like, no, it's poisonous, actually. Yeah, exactly.
And then she wakes up in the middle of the night and finds something worse than a ghost. She finds Lucille jerking Thomas off.
Yeah, I don't know why they just weren't flat out having sex.
I think it's a much stronger decision.
They thought it would have been
she's just jerking him off.
Yeah. It would have been too intense for the audience to like process that, I fear.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. This movie was very much a wide release. You're right. They were probably like, we can only.
I bet
there's only so much incest you can get away with in an
original script. They were going at it and they were naked. This one is pretty. It's a soft serve into the reveal of sibling rivalry.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, she's definitely aggressively jerking him off, and they're both fully clothed. So
when I do like at this point, Edith thinks that she's figured out that the twist is that Lucille's not actually his sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's like, no, I am his sister. We're still fucking.
Cunty delivery. Cunty delivery. I am.
It is a cunty delivery. Yeah.
And then she gets knocked off the 3rd floor, but lands in the snow.
What the fuck? So we know because of that, because of the open hole basically served that purpose to leak enough
Not
snow.
the open hole.
The open hole is leaking.
Leaking snow, right? There's coming down. The snow is coming down. It's
not
creating
coming too. Jesus Christ, this is gay.
A mound of snow for Edith to fall on is literally what happens.
Yes,
this movie is really the only example of Chekhov's snow hole.
You're so right.
You're like that snow hole's coming into it at some point.
God, it's gotta be so cold in that house.
So cold.
Earlier in the movie, Lucille's like, you should make this house warmer for your wife.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cover the hole.
Cover the hole.
There's a snow hole in the room.
Girl the tea. Girl the hole.
See, that snow hole is actually structurally important to the integrity of that house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The integrity of the plot.
Yes.
But so as she falls, Charlie Hunnam's character, who we've sort of forgotten to talk about this whole time, he's made his way to England because he found out what her dad knew, and he walks to the house because he's handsome and he's the hero of the movie. And so he walks in, and he's like, "I'm gonna save her."
Yeah.
Literally
then,
scoops her up. Like, this is the most like, I was like, we really are just playing on tropes at this point.
Damsel in distress.
Yeah. And I don't think Thomas Hiddleston's scooping her up with the same ferocity,
like fervor. Yeah, he should be.
But so Lucille stabs him
in the armpit. In the
armpit.
I love how Del Toro goes out of his way to make all the violence in this movie like kind of like
weird,
peculiar, and nasty, right? Like the dad's face is smashed into the sink and his jaw's leaking, and in the armpit, and it's like all the violence is like very.
We'll get to it in a second, but gross. The one through the face really just
the face. That's a great one. Yeah,
rough.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, she's a stabber.
She's a stabber.
That Lucille.
No.
Classic stabber.
Yeah.
And so she is sort of like, I always do the stabbing. Thomas, you're going to do the stabbing on this one.
Yeah.
And he goes out and we sort of get like, okay, Thomas isn't all that bad. And he asks Alan, you're a doctor. Where should I stab you to not kill you? And he points in the direction and he stabs him there. But yeah.
That's a neat little wrinkle. I like that.
Yeah, I do. I like, we talked about it earlier, but the waveringness of his character, where he goes with the wind.
Yeah.
And he is like not a very, in the way characters are presented in these movies, masculine, where he doesn't have like a clarity of thought. He's not a good guy or a bad guy. He's sort of whichever woman is, has the most influence over him at the time,
right,
is where his morality lies.
He's easily manipulated.
Well,
he's a manic pixie dream boy.
I was going to say that, not to like get too dark with it, but it's like there are so many parts of me watching this where I'm like, I don't feel like he fully agrees to a lot of the relationship or decision making that's happening between him and Lucille. Like, it all is so, it feels very coerced, as opposed to like, I think that had it been portrayed where he was like, no, but I do love her. Like, she's my sister, but we're closer than that. Like, there's never really this like commitment to that relationship either. It's always like, well, she's asking me to do this or telling me to do this. And there's this power dynamic that obviously is very inappropriate, but like it comes across where I was like, even though we learn that he has done things that are bad and he has, broken this trust, I'm like, I don't think that he is, for me, I'm like, I don't feel like it's a moral sliding compass. It's more like, is he under coercion or like under threat or whatever, as opposed
who's control?
Yeah. So it's like, I'm like, at his core, I think he is a victim in this situation who is acting in specific ways. So the actions fluctuate between quote good, quote bad. But I was like, I don't see his moral compass necessarily shifting. It's more like he feels trapped in this situation because he doesn't know any different. And then he
Right.
see like, because
Well, he is the younger sibling too.
We sort of learned that like Edith is probably the first person that he actually could care for, and so maybe because the other women that they were going after are 100 years old, and he's like, oh, I'm not just in love with my sister, or you know, whatever other letter of the LGBTQ alphabet I could be. I just haven't met the right girl.
Right, right. We also know that he's very preoccupied with his clay machine, right? I mean, as
This
soon as
is
Edith
true.
gets there, he's like, I can't talk right now. I'm trying to like get all the clay. So he's very committed to his like life's work. So I'm sure that has something like to do with it. But yeah, he loves Edith.
Yeah. And Lucille's a stabber.
Yeah, Lucille is a stabber. Lucille does stab Thomas and kill him. And then we have Lucille and Edith fighting at the clay machine.
This is very okay. So I see now, like when you were bringing up the Shining reference earlier, I don't know that I would have plucked that out like on my own, but saying that immediately, I was like, oh, the scene at the end, like the snow and all of this, and like
snow.
Again, visually, it's just very exciting to see the juxtaposition of like the red against the snow. This whole sequence, when I was watching it back, I was like, this is like I was getting like Norman Bates kind of energy with the chase scene. It's Mrs. Voorhees, like any of those sort of maternal killers. Because like Lucille, yes, sister, yes, lover, also kind of mom, because they didn't like have that relationship. So that's where I was like, oh, there is sort of this like psycho / Voorhees-ish relationship that's happening here. So the whole chase scene felt like some of the third acts of those as well with this. And maybe it's just because we don't have as many like female maternal killers as we should have. So those are my only like vantage points. But yeah, anyways, I was watching that and I was like, oh, again, first watch, maybe didn't pick up on those same correlations, but having you name The Shining and then watching it this time, it's like, oh yeah, there are some other sort of nods or winks throughout this.
Yeah, that's a great read. I mean, Lucille does feel like his protector in a lot of ways. He's like boyish and like Stuart, you said, he kind of just goes with the wind. He's whatever. Yeah, that's a great read.
Well, and this is a movie too where the dead mom trope isn't like, oh, the mom's dead because we don't have anything interesting to say about a mom or anything interesting for a mom to say, where it is like the specter of the two dead moms in both Edith's household and then Thomas and Lucille's household is very interesting, especially in a ghost story. Where we have the ghosts of both moms. Yeah. And they are both portrayed in similar ways, but the one telling her to beware of Crimson Peak, it may be scary, but she's trying to protect her daughter from this.
Yeah. Also, like Lucille and Lucille's mom being like chopped as hell, and she's like, "Isn't my mom chopped as hell?"
Chopped.
She is like
she's chopped.
She's like, it's crazy how ugly my mom is.
Yeah, because there's a giant portrait of her, and Edith's like, "Okay," and she's like, "Yeah, she was chopped. Sorry about that."
And she was. I mean, the art department popped off on that one.
Yeah.
Del Toro knows how to paint an ugly mother. Oh, I feel bad about it. Cut that, Stuart. That was not very nice.
I'm not cutting it.
Okay, great.
So they're fighting at the Thomas's dumb little clay machine. It gets turned on. Not to belittle a man's interest. Clay, of all the interests that all the men in the world have had, clay is actually like the least insidious.
Sure.
Well, I think dumb being the key word there, like Ciara, like we were saying, the fact that he has gone this long and hasn't perfected this goddamn machine. Yeah, dumb is
he
apt.
Never will.
And he never will. He got stabbed in the face.
But Edith says, "Help me," to behind Lucille, and Lucille turns around and we see Thomas's ghost.
Oh my gosh. Love it. Love this sequence.
Yeah, he looks great. And the blood that's like liquidating out into the ether is very beautiful to me.
Very beautiful.
He is the airiest of all of our ghosts, I think. And it's sort of he is sort of an air character where it is like the more I think about how each individual ghost is portrayed, the more I'm like, wow, this was so intentional, which is kind of dumb. It's like Guillermo del Toro is a master of the craft, and like, of course, everything he decides is intentional. But this is the first time I've really been like, wow, like literally every single thing in this movie is so much deeper and more thought out than I thought it was.
You're saying that his ghost is like maybe a little more translucent because he himself is kind of airy.
He
doesn't have the weight to him in life.
His the color palette that they chose for him was like more neutral tones, paler colors. In comparison, spoiler, when Lucille's ghost shows up at the end, she is also in sort of a darker color palette. Not the red, but she's in like this dark, scary color palette. And so it's interesting that he's the only ghost that lives in this sort of like pale neutral. And to me, I was like, that's a reflection of sort of his character, his decision making, where it's like, oh, he is innocent in this, or he is, you know, a neutral party, whereas Lucille's character gets portrayed in this sort of darkness at the end. And so anyways, because he didn't die, like I was wondering when I first watched this, are all the ghosts who are attached to this house going to be red? And it was interesting that the two siblings were not portrayed that way, but the victims of the crimes of the house were. So
right.
I'm like, Del Toro, release the book. I'm sure there's a book that's talking about all of these decisions. So I haven't read it yet. Sorry.
Is there also a director's cut? I feel like there is like some sort of extended cut. I could be wrong though, but
maybe.
But
I do like at this point, Lucille says to Edith, either you kill me or I kill you. And then Edith slams her head with a shovel and she dies.
I heard you the first time.
I kill you.
She said, I heard you the first time. And that is, I literally was like, stop.
Yes, girl.
And we end with Alan and Edith leaving the estate as the townspeople come to help them, while Lucille's ghost plays piano. I do remember this house burning down, but I think that's just because we were talking about Rebecca last week and the house did not burn down.
I also thought there was a visual of them leaving and the house was on fire, but I was like, I don't remember that happening.
No.
Well, hopefully they get
memory is tricky.
That was in the other timeline that we watched this back in 2015. The house was on fire. Pre-COVID.
Yeah, Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Hopefully that house gets restored and they cleanse. Whoever moves in cleanses it.
They didn't fix that roof. That roof is never gets fixed.
That house is sinking.
Yeah.
That house is
They literally step on the floor and out oozes clay. I mean, good Lord. Yeah. Edith really should have like hit the road.
Yeah.
Hit the sea, gone back.
Hit the sea.
Well, that was Crimson Peak. Thanks so much for joining us, Ciara Myst.
Thank you, Ciara.
Remind everyone again where they can find you.
Yes, I'm on Instagram at the Ciara Myst, CiaraMyst, the bitch from your TV. I'm also on YouTube. That's where it's more fun. And then begrudgingly, I'm on TikTok as well.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's ever been on TikTok grudgingly. No millennial has ever been on TikTok grudgingly.
Don't get me started. Anyways, YouTube, Patreon, Instagram, those are my safe spaces. And now, wherever this podcast is finding you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Thanks for joining us. We'll have to have you back sometime.
Yes.
And the next time you're in LA, hit us up. We'll hang out.
I look forward to it.
That's just me making social plans at the end of our podcast.
Yes. Do you have any plans to come to LA in the future?
I do. I'm actually going to be there at the end of August. I'm booked as a special guest at Power Morphicon, which is a Power Rangers convention in LA. So I will be there at the end of August. I think it's the 28th through the 30th. So if you're in the LA area and you're a super nerd, come meet me. Listen, we don't have DragCon anymore, but you can come meet me at Power Morphicon.
Wait, that's amazing. Where is it? At the Crypto Arena?
It's at the Pasadena Convention Center.
Okay, cool. Whoa, that's awesome.
And then I'll be in West Hollywood
con for everything
on Monday.
Okay.
Of that weekend.
Okay.
Not this coming Monday, whenever you're listening to it.
Monday in August.
Yes.
Clear my schedule now.
Hello.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
This podcast has been presented and produced by Stuart Ross and Jesse Tevitt. Edited by Stuart Ross. All recording equipment provided by Photo Booth Productions. To support our podcast, join us at patreon.com/anothergayhorrorpod.